Alright, what's up guys? So today we're going to be ranking all of the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. Um, this tier list is going to be based on how good they were, and that's like the only thing. Like, I'm not going to be influenced by the comics if it was like comically correct. So yeah, let's just get straight into this. I'm not sure about these two, but I mean, I guess they were part of the Marvel. They're not like directly in line with the universe, but I guess they still count as Marvel movies. So, yeah. So we have the S tier, which is God tier movie, one of the best movies. A is like it's still really good, but not God tier. B is like, it was an okay movie. Like, I'd watch it again. C is like, it was okay. Maybe not watch it again. Eh. And then D is like, I would not watch this movie. Why did I watch this in the first place? So let's go ahead and get straight into this. Oh, well, I might as well say that I guess we'll incorporate how good the story was too. Just because like these movies, like by themselves, they kind of don't mean much, but story-wise, they do mean a lot. So we'll just start off with Civil War, and I think we'll go ahead and put Civil War in A tier because Civil War was one of my favorite movies. Um, it's kind of what kicked everything with like Thanos and the end of the Infinity Saga into place. Split the Avengers in part, which was shocking to see. But I don't think it was a god tier movie. So, yeah, moving on. Iron Man, the first Iron Man. We are definitely moving this guy to S tier. Um, this is a movie that, even though it wasn't like the first movie, because The Incredible Hulk was the first one, um, it kicked off. It basically kicked off everything. A really good story, good starting story. Uh, Puts everything in motion, and just overall a really good movie. Good actors, all the good stuff. Next we'll put Thor. Uh, we'll put Thor in B tier. Um, it's a good movie. The first one is definitely better than its sequels. Well, maybe not Ragnarok, but well, coincidence, that's the next one on our list.
Coincidence? I think not!
But Thor was a good movie. I didn't like where they took Thor in the Dark World, which we'll talk about later. So Thor Ragnarok. I'm gonna put it in B tier along with the other Thor movie. So the thing about Thor Ragnarok, it definitely improved from Thor in the Dark World, but it kind of transitioned into a more comedic point of view. For me, at least, it was a little too comedic. Good movie though, still really good movie. I like the story, with the Hulk and everything, and preventing Ragnarok, but then you have to cause Ragnarok to stop somebody. But yeah, really good movie, just a little too funny for my taste. Yeah, we're just gonna put this on right there. Yeah. I really shouldn't have to say much about that. Marvel learned from their mistakes is definitely really good. It's really good. All right. Endgame. um, I'm putting it in S tier. Most people, well, not most people. I don't want to be judgy, but a lot of people, at least I've heard, they don't put it at their top, but they also it's like in their like top 10 and not top 5. For me, it was a really good conclusion to the whole series itself. So I thought it was like had a good ending, but also with a sour twist. So I mean, I think everything was just like perfectly aligned. Like the moon and the earth aligned perfectly for this movie to take place. So I thought it was good. And then we'll also put Infinity War up there because, you know, it's two-parter. Infinity. Some argue that Infinity War was better than Endgame, but I don't think one was better than the other. I think they both needed each other to be really good. So, the Venom movie. I'm putting this one in the N because I haven't personally seen it, but I've heard it's really good. So maybe if I've seen it, I would have put it in a tier. So we're not gonna talk too much about that one. um, Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm gonna put this one in B tier. I liked it. I really liked it. Um, I wouldn't say it's so much better than the second one, but overall, it's just a really good. I thought it was a really good movie. Good way to introduce those guys. Um, so yeah, there's no bad things about this movie, honestly. So yeah, Ant-Man. Ant-Man. Where would I put Ant-Man? Ant-Man. I'll put it in the C tier. Like it was a good movie. Um, I beg to differ that it was better than the second one. I think they're both equally the same. I might as well put the second one. Where's the second one? There it is. Put the second one with it. Like the Ant-Man series, it's like it's okay. Like it's fine. It's not great. It's also not horribly bad. So like it's just that the first one was kind of, I would say, kind of boring, just a little bit. And then the second one was also, it kind of suffered the same thing as Ragnarok, being a little too funny. Just a little bit, but other than that, it was fine. So, Avengers Age of Ultron. Oh, yeah. Like, all the Avengers movies were very good, except this one. This one was like, it was like they're riding the success of the first Avengers movie, and now they're just kind of like, here, we're gonna put this one out. We're gonna title it as Avengers, and it's gonna do well. Not a very bad movie, but it kind of felt dull compared to the first one. And also, they killed my boy Quicksilver, so that's no good. Um, Captain Marvel.
自分を知れ。そんな美味しい話があると思うのか。お前のような人間に。なんてひどい野郎。
I have mixed feelings about this movie. Um, I think this movie was a decent debut for, you know what? Like I was excited. I was excited to see this movie, but then when I saw it, I was like, eh. Like, is nothing like she's just basically the Superman of the Marvel universe. I kind of didn't really get any vibes of like this is like a different superhero, female superhero. They took a bold risk with the female lead. I respect that, but what they did with her character, I didn't really like what they did with her character. And then especially with Endgame, where she literally comes in at the last second and does one thing, then she gets KO'd by Thanos with one punch, and she's supposed to be the most powerful character in the MCU. That's funny. So yeah, she gets a C tier. Doctor Strange. I put Doctor Strange there. Um, for me personally, I really like the Doctor Strange movie. I think it was a bit confusing at first for most people who hadn't read the comics. It was kind of confusing, but then again, it kind of wasn't. And then just adding this like whole new mystical element to the series, because up until then we'd only witnessed like Thor or Captain America, Iron Man, the main Avengers. Nothing too special, but Doctor Strange was a good way to introduce like the mystic arts, and then it also introduced the Time Stone. So it was a good movie for me at least. Iron Man 2. Yeah, this movie does not do well. It suffers from expectations. This movie was like it was kind of like I think they were just kind of milking it, honestly. Definitely not as good as this first one. Suffers that it was like why'd you do this to yourself? I did introduce Black Widow though, so I mean you got to give it some credit, but not too much. Iron Man 3, on the other hand, did a lot better, but not so much better. I put in the C tier. It's they didn't do as bad as they did with Iron Man 2, but like I definitely like the plot story more. It kind of contributed to the main story of the Infinity Saga, but honestly, it was just like an okay movie. It was a good superhero movie. It wasn't a bad one. It wasn't a good one either. It was just like, eh. I'd watch it again, but it's definitely better than Iron Man 2. As long like if your movie is better than Iron Man 2, you did good. Like that's the stand. That's as low as you can go. Spider-Man Far From Home. Not Far From Home, sorry. Homecoming. God. Um I think this one goes I think this one is I think this one's worthy of an A tier. It was a good. It was finally good to see Spider-Man into this universe, like another reboot. This one was a good reboot. Um, I like how they included Iron Man into this as his mentor, kind of like the dad he never had. It's a good movie. It's kind of like modernizing Spider-Man as more of a teen than like he was an adult, more of a like adult in the other movies. So, yeah, I think this one did really good. Good job, Marvel. The Avengers. A lot of the Avengers movies are S tier. Really good. Combining all the superheroes. Like, a team of superheroes in comics is, like, awesome. Like you love a personal superhero, but then they're mixed with all these other guys, and like they can do like unique attacks. Like it's like the more superheroes, like the more epic the fight's gonna be. But then to put something like this on the big screen is like, wow. How did like you recreated that same feeling that you get in a comic book onto a movie? It's just like mind blowing. So I think really good job, really good move with the Avengers. Black Panther. I think it's an A tier movie. Um, really good change of pace, doing an all black movie. Um, it was a really good movie to be honest. Like I thought the plot was interesting. The plot was really interesting. Like having like son of the murdered king's brother come back, take the throne. Now you gotta go reclaim it, and it's all about T'Challa. He's like, oh, being king is harder than he thought it was gonna be. But really good movie. Um, contributing to the storyline, it was okay. It was okay. Um, Captain America, the Winter Soldier. I'm I'll put it in A tier. I'm personally a bigger fan of Captain America, so it's kind of a little bit biased, but at the same time, not really. Because this movie was really good. Like, extremely good. Like, music was really good. Story was really good. It was touching. Had a climatic finish. Helped the storyline a lot. It set up Civil War. So it's like the stepping stone, but also just overall a really good movie. Really good. Now for this one, Spider-Man into Spider-Verse. Like just based off of it being, um, I'm gonna put it in B tier because like there was so much hype around this movie, and when I actually saw it, it kind of didn't live up to my expectations because like it focused more on one Spider-Man when it's called Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. The other Spider-Mans were kind of like they were just there. Like they focused on Spider-Gwen and Miles Morales and then like the fat Spider-Man. Can't remember his name right now. Um like it was okay. It was a good movie. Like I love the design, I love the art style of it, really good music and everything, but it didn't live up to it got way too much hype for me at least. So that's why it's deserving of a B tier for me. Guardians of the Galaxy 2. It was it was okay. It was okay. Actually, I won't put it up to the B tier because it wasn't really didn't really surpass Guardians of the Galaxy, but it also didn't fail in comparison to it. But like I love the story. I thought it was like these guys are like prone to be funny. That's kind of like what set them up in the first movie. They were a lot more funnier in this movie, and it was like a good change of direction going in space and all these other threats and stuff. So, yeah, really good movie. But I mean, it doesn't really go higher than the B tier. Captain America: The First Avenger. I'm gonna put it in B tier. It's This movie was really good, like a really good introduction to like Captain America himself. We got to see a bit of the past. We got to see Howard Stark. We got to see all these other elements. It was kind of like kicking off a good kickoff for Captain America, really cementing his role in the MCU. Um, really good actor. Couldn't have picked anybody else better. Really good movie. It's one of my favorites personally, but compared to everything else, it's kind of like B tier. So, yeah. Thor in the Dark World. Yeah. Okay. Not gonna say anything else about that movie either. And then Spider-Man Far From Home. This one was really good, to be honest. Like after Endgame, how did he deal with it? Spider-Man himself growing. Like it was awesome to see this. Like how the world was affected by the events of Endgame, which was like so Endgame was like the stepping stone for this movie. It was really good to be honest. It was also it was funny at times when it was needed to be funny. So I can't really complain about this movie. So yeah, that about wraps up this tier list and video. Um, if there are any suggestions that you would like to make, let me know in the comments down below. But yeah, thank you guys for sticking around and watching this. If you have any video suggestions, you can go ahead and leave them in the comments. And I will catch you guys later. Peace.